joined now by Limerick manager Diarmuid Mullins. Diarmuid, preparing for an All-Ireland final. Must be a great feeling again.
Yeah, it's great. Obviously, we had great excitement at winning the Munster Championship a couple of weeks ago, and it's just nice to have 2 weeks now to prepare for the All-Ireland final. We probably needed that time. We did 4 games in 6 weeks, so some tired bodies. But look, when you're preparing for an All-Ireland final, I think the tiredness goes away fairly quickly. So we're just concentrating and focusing on being as prepared as possible for next Sunday against Kilkenny.
Talk about the Munster campaign. I know from talking to you after a few of the games you weren't overly happy with every aspect of the performance, but it shows the sign of a good team that you got through certainly that first game against Clare while not playing anywhere near the standard you've been hoping to, and then obviously a fine victory against Cork and then the battle against Tipperary.
Yeah, well look, the main thing I suppose was to come out the other side of it, and I think every game we improved incrementally. Obviously there's always areas that you want to improve on, and definitely after the first game against Clare there was a number of areas that we had to improve on. But I think in the games after that, I think in the Cork game, the Waterford game, and then Tipperary in the final, there was definite improvement, and we'll be looking for further improvement next week.
It's the Kilkenny side that you met a few years ago. You know a lot about them. A fair few players that have come through that system since you last played them as well. So
yeah,
you're expecting a tough game anyway.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. At minor level, we went to Croke Park as Munster Champions. Kilkenny came through the round robin system, and there was nothing between the teams after the first half. But in the second half, they blew us away really, and I suppose that was a disappointment, or a big disappointment for that group of players. But look, we have a chance next week to try and atone for that. But Kilkenny have come through a tough Leinster campaign. They've won 3 games, and at the start of the year, I think anybody looking at the under-20 championship would have said whoever beats Galway would have a great chance of winning the All-Ireland, and Kilkenny did that and played very, very well that day. So look, it's going to be tight. Like I've said that about all the games so far, and I've no reason to believe that it won't be tight next week again.
You're with this group of players a long time now. How much improvement have you seen with the lads over the years?
I think, look, I think there's been huge improvements collectively, but also individually. Like we've had a huge maybe change and turnover of players from when we played minor 4 years ago to now at under 20 level. Some of that is down to the injuries that we've had this year, so other guys have had to come in, but they're a fierce committed bunch of players. And I think one of the key things is with our 19s development squad, and some players being able to come up to that, has meant that we've been able to broaden out the net and give a lot of players a lot of exposure this year, which is good for Limerick going forward.
When you were minor champions 3 years ago, and back-to-back minor champions at that, do you feel a bit of pressure when you have an under-20 team, or is there a little bit of expectation?
I don't think there's pressure or expectation. I think it's just good that we were at that level and we were able to be successful at that level. So that means when you're dealing with a bunch of players, it's very easy to say to them that if we get ourselves prepared properly and if we improve, as I think we have throughout each of the games, we have a chance of being thereabouts. I suppose there's two aspects to it. There's the development of players going forward for Limerick, that we hope that there'll be 5 or 6 that can push on to senior level, but also you'd like to make sure that they're having that winning I suppose mentality, and we've got that now through the 4 games this year, and also getting to the final last year. So I think it's a mixture of both. I don't think the players are under any huge pressure, definitely the management don't feel under any huge pressure, but we set ourselves, I think, good standards along with the players that we want to aspire to, and then you hope that the results will come that way. But look, there was a number of games this year where it came down to the last 6 or 7 minutes, and it's just a matter of belief to get you over the line.
From Diarmuid Mullins' point of view, how does a former Laois minor footballer a couple of years later end up here managing an All-Ireland under-20 hurling team? I guess it's a route that has taken a number of twists and turns along the way.
Oh yeah, well look, I'm in Limerick 20 years. I suppose it seems like a distant haze when I was involved with Laois in minor hurling and football going way back, and great experiences, and definitely playing with my club Portlaoise, we had a lot of successful days as well. But I went to college in Limerick, and I was fortunate enough to get a job locally in Crescent, and really since then I suppose I've had opportunities to be involved with various clubs, with Kilmallock and Mungret, and then the Limerick senior footballers, and then a chance to be involved here with the Limerick hurlers. But look, I just really enjoy being involved with the teams, and look, there's great support from the county board and from the Limerick Academy in trying to help and prepare the team, and brilliant people in the backroom team with Richie, Tommy, John, Brian Murray, Declan, Neil, Paquin, all of those people really, helping us out so much. So it's just kind of a synergy of a load of different people coming together to do the best for the lads.
Where management teams are gone to now in terms of the level of preparation from your point of view and players' point of view, is it gone too far, do you think, or is it necessary?
I think, look, the big thing for us is that as a management team, we have a lot of, I suppose, fun being involved in the team. Obviously, we want to do the best for the lads, but I don't think we're over the top in terms of being serious about it. I think we can, equally, there's a huge amount of enjoyment involved in it. All the people that are involved in our backroom team, they're voluntarily giving up, 3 days a week, plus a lot more time outside of that, just to make sure that we're prepared properly. I think the split season will help in terms of people being able to give that commitment. We're finished next Sunday, win, lose or draw, and we've been kind of preparing the team, a little bit of gym work before Christmas, and then it's been kind of January to May, whereas in other years maybe it was starting back in February and you were still going, or you'd hope to be still going in the old championship kind of July, August, which makes for a longer season. But I think if there is an enjoyment in being involved in it, I don't think there's a great motivation to be involved as well. Of course there's moments that are a little bit more challenging than you'd maybe like them to be, but I think you saw even after the Munster final, there's great satisfaction among the whole group between the players and management.